Hi everybody, this is Mr. Roche, and we are working with the Pente game, and we're trying to sort our move priorities. And one of the things I noticed is that, let me start a new game here, that the sorting isn't quite working as we have it. So let's look at this for a second. I am running a game against the computer, and what's happening is when I print out a move, these are the possible moves. That's actually fine, because what it's doing is it's finding a set of moves around here, and then it's picking the one at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. So it's picking this one, okay? That's it. So, but when it goes here, what it's going to do is it's going to pick this one as priority 3, and then it may or may not get this one. Let me put one here because it's got it's sort of a bad move. Let me go here for a sec. Okay, so it's finding that. That's actually good. It's finding the 7, 4, 1. But if I go like I don't know. Let me see. Let me see this one because it could go either way. See, it finds that, which is weird. And what happened here is that it found a priority of 3 when there were like priorities of 4 in here buried, and they just kind of got lost. Okay, so what I was looking for is, I think the problem is that when we're sorting our priorities, we don't sort them right? So, and that's bad. So, so what I wanted to do was kind of work on that, okay? So what I did was I looked around a little bit more on the internet, and I found a very good example of what we should be doing, which is here. So I give a lot of credit to Beginner's Book on how to sort objects using comparative and comparable, okay? And they took a little bit of a different tactic than what we had done, okay? So what I did was I changed this, and I made the computer move object implement. There's a thing called a comparable interface, which we can do, okay? So let me do that for a second. And what's going to happen is, hang on a second, let me clean this up. Okay, we are back. And but what we're going to do is there is an interface that lets us do comparables with objects, and the thing we're trying to compare is priorities to each other. And what we're going to do is we're going to implement the comparable interface. Okay, so I've got to organize imports on that, and then what it's going to do is it's going to make me let me see, it should do this. Let me see. Oh, implements, sorry, implements. And then what it should do is it should add implemented methods. That's good. Okay, so what it's going to do then is it's going to add this thing called comparable to object. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to have it actually like compare priorities in here, okay, from one to the other. So what it's going to do is it's going to send you an object to compare to, okay, which is going to be a move object, and it's going to compare from one to the other, okay? And like I have this implemented down below here. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to grab this, and we're going to find the priority of the object we're going to send to it, okay? So what basically we're going to do is we're going to have this variable called compare priority, and you send it an object, and it has to be a computer move object. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that to get the priority of the object, okay? And then what we're going to do is we want the priority to show up on top, the highest priority. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to compare this priority to the other priority, and if it's higher, it's going to be positive, and if this one has a bigger number, it's going to be lower. Okay, and that's all good. Okay, so that's and this is for like we want the highest priority to show up at the top of the list. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so this is going to do that for us. Okay, and I already did this before, so I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, so this is an overriding thing to this interface, and it's going to get the job done for us. Okay, I don't know what this means. I'm going to let this be. Oh, wow, so it has to be like that. That's interesting. Let's see if that works. Okay, that seems fine. But that's a very, very sophisticated thing that we're doing right there. Okay, so once you have this done inside the comparable object, then the thing will kind of compare itself to each other. And so then you can, I guess, sort it. And it's sort of easy to do. Okay, so the next place we need to go to is the move generator to kind of run this. Okay, so I'm going to go there in 1 second. Okay, so I've moved from the computer move object now to the computer move generator, and here I am. Okay, this was our major thing that we had actually thought we were going to do. It was cool, and this doesn't seem to be working for us. So I am going to basically comment it out, and I'm going to replace it with a one-line statement that will just do this for us now, because we have a comparator already set to the computer move generator. So this allows us to do this. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. And I guess what I'm going to do is try to figure out what it looks like right now. Okay, to help myself, okay, I made this thing to print the priorities. Okay, and my thing looks like this. This is a form of a loop that you can use to use things that are in lists. Okay, so what you do, this is different. It looks a little bit different than the normal loop that we've used before, but I think now is the time that you can see this. And this is a loop for something called an iterable, which is like a list. A list of things is an iterable thing that you can kind of iterate over, and you can get one of each of them. The big thing here is that you don't get the location in the array of where the moves are. So what it does is it just kind of feeds you moves, and we just want to print them out. Okay, and we have a toString, which is cool. So we can just kind of we can just print them out. Okay, so that's how I'm getting these sort of lists of these things. That's what's going on. And so what I want to see is that this list is actually sorted. Okay, so I'm going to try to run this now with our current thinking, and let's take a look. And hopefully this is going to work. Okay, so the computer's playing like Bob here. Okay, and boom. Okay, so it generates this upper thing, which is not cool. I should actually do this randomly, but that's okay. And what we did was we generated this. Okay, so these are all the moves that we get around one white square, which is fine. That's totally good. So far, so good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back here, and we're going to try to move here. Okay, so this is the next one. And see what happens here? This is much better because our priorities are showing up here, right? Okay. Now, I'm trying to do this the right way, and I keep kind of screwing this up, but if I go here, okay, see what it did? That's actually awesome. Okay, so what it did is it found the priority 4 up above 3. So my thing is going really well. Okay, so if I move right here, it should move right here. Okay, yeah, okay. And so if I move here, if I move it any place around here, I'm not sure what it's going to do here. This is like sort of like a jump up, but it should definitely get a capture someplace. See? Okay, so it took that capture, but that's great. See what it's doing? It's like it's getting smarter. Okay, so this is going to be an unbounded 2, and it should do this, but then if I go here, it should do the capture, which is right. Okay, so see what it's doing? It's actually moving very well. Okay, so wow, look at that, all blues. Okay, but what it's doing is every time it runs, it finds the high priority things up on top. And what we should do is we should figure out a way to how to sort between these two priorities. I'm not sure if we're up there, but man, our thing's getting pretty smart. Okay, so see that? Boom, look at that, that's awesome. Okay, see that? Boom, and it wins by captures. So there you go. Okay, so with a little bit of thinking, we can actually get this thing to be pretty smart. And hooray, blue wins. There you go. Oh my god, I think I blew it.
What?
I think I turned off the video.
Oh my god, no.
I know, I'm sorry. I did the wrong thing. Shoot.
Sorry about that.
Just hold on. Sometimes this thing's pretty smart. Let me launch this, it'll find it. Come on. Already open. Fuck, come on. Where are you?
I'm not doing a good job with screenshots.
What did I do wrong?
No, people are doing a good job with screenshots.
No, what did I do? Oh, I did all this work.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, stop.